Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, I've got a post here from the HBAR Bull, and then we've had a reply from Drop, who are a developer on Hedera, and I thought I'd share this with you because I think this is, it says a lot, it really does speak volumes. So, the HBAR Bull said, crypto's first 3 killer uses were speculation, store of value, and stablecoins. The fourth, micropayments. And Hedera is built for it. And then we've got Drop here, which is a Hedera developer, as I just said, and they say, totally agree. Building real-world, high-volume payment apps show how vital speed and cost really are. At Drop, built natively on Hedera, we've seen firsthand how predictable, low fees drive viability. Hard to match on other networks as we expand cross-chain. Okay, so the thing that I'm trying to get to you here is, well, two things, right? The first thing is how they're talking about, they feel, micropayments is like the next real big use case. I can kind of understand that logic, if I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because with micropayments, this is something that's just it's like so simple but so effective, right? Like, I don't want to keep using the same point, but I've said it before about shops and, how to use like card machines and things like that. They're going to put certain price barriers on the card machines, right? Because it costs them to use the card machine. And so if it's too cheap, whatever it is that you're buying from the store, they're not going to want to pay the fee because it might be that the fee is going to cost more than what you've brought. So they'll make it so that you have to buy something for at least like say $5 to make it worthwhile for them to pay the fee. And this is where like micropayments, like the amount of things that you can change with that, like stores now being able to, put no like limits on what you can buy on your card, streamers being able to get like donations, plus they can get like the donations in real time, music publishers being able to get like music royalties and things like that. It's usually like something that's done like quarterly. This is something that could then end up being done literally, in real time, like effectively. Reporters, publishers, in terms of who write articles and things like that, journalists, etc., they could like sell the articles, and rather than you having to have a full subscription to, like a newspaper or something like that, you could literally just pay for the article instead. Like the amount of barriers that this can drop is absolutely incredible. And so when you think about micropayments, we're not just talking, just one little thing. We're talking about so many different barriers of entry that we can actually now change. And so I can actually understand the logic here of why, micropayments could be a huge thing going forward. I really can see the argument for it. And so the other thing that I just wanted to, really touch on here is how, Drop have said, and, yes, they are originally on Hedera, but you got to understand, like, Drop are not like, they're not tied to Hedera in the sense of like they can't just go to another network. They can, right? So if they was to just go to another network and say, actually, we actually prefer this network, they can do that, right? And they've literally said this here, hard to match on other networks in terms of how predictable low fees are such a, important factor when it comes to Hedera. And this is where Hedera does have the upper hand on other chains. Hedera does their fees, one obviously fixed, but also in USD. So it's not tied to the actual crypto. And that's the huge important factor here, because when it's tied to the crypto, obviously the crypto can go up and down in value, so it can change. Now, I will say this, obviously with these chains, a lot of them, unless you're talking like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're so cheap that it's not really going to matter too much anyway. But this is something that for like companies who are forecasting, for example, businesses and things that they're going to be doing, that's huge, right? Because they can literally plan how their payments are going to be. Like if they say, okay, like we're going to have to do, let's say, 100 payments today, they can literally calculate how much it's going to come to. It's not going to be a thing of, oh, well, at 1 minute, the price of the token was this much and then it went down to this much and then it went up to that much. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be. We'll have to figure it out. Whereas with Hedera or HBAR, it's like, no, we know it's going to be this fixed dollar amount. So I know this is what it's going to come to. And it's huge, right? And this is where you've got an actual developer here. And this developer was recognized by the Federal Reserve, by the way, saying how it's going to be hard to match on other chains. So while they are going cross-chain, which again, I do not knock that at all, because I do think as a business, it makes sense to cross over. Like, I don't think you should just stick to one chain, because I do actually think, you're limiting yourself, in all honesty. I don't have no issue with that. But they're clearly saying here, like, yeah, like, in terms of what we're trying to do, it's going to be hard to match this on other chains. So this is why I'm trying to show you guys, like, with Hedera, like, the potential is here for Hedera. Like, we can see that, you've got developers who speak very positively on Hedera. And so I think it's possible. And look, I'm not here to say what will or won't happen, because I don't know. But I think Hedera could be one of the real big networks out there in the future. We will see. This is just my speculation, but I really do think it's got the things that you would want, right? It's got all of the positive attributes that you would want in a network. And don't just take my word for it, right? You've got here a developer. And as I say, this developer doesn't have to stay with Hedera. If they said, hey, we've done some testing and found a better chain, they could say that and go. Like, we had a company that were doing an AI project on the network Casper, right? And this was their like huge use case that was going to really, benefit that network. They decided to up and leave and came over to Hedera. I've got videos of a developer from the Polygon network who came over to Hedera, and, plenty of videos of Ethereum developers coming over to Hedera. So, like, we can see it happening. Like, we've got the evidence there. So, like, guys, like, you really have got a lot of evidence to show you why Hedera could be the better choice in the future, in the long term. So obviously we'll see how things go, but yeah, I thought I'd show you this because it's very telling, in my opinion, to have a developer saying this about Hedera. And so this is why, for me, I am confident of HBAR's future. Like, I really am, unless like some unforeseen circumstance was to come along. But you've got a developer here, and they're saying, yeah, like, we really think this is going to be, something that other chains can't match. That speaks volumes. That's telling you that Hedera is like a cut above the rest, and they're blatantly saying that. So, very telling in my opinion, but yeah, just thought I'd share this with you. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.